Hey, Chelsea stand. How you doing, mate? Pressure is on. Yeah, I agree. Pressure is on. The results are not going our way at the moment, so we need to improve. We were better today. We were better today, but um, we're in the results business, and another game without winning is going to pile the pressure on us for sure. Welcome everyone who's joined. I think I've got 3 viewers on at the moment. I was waiting for more people to join. Truthful boss. Yeah, it was better than the other day against Arsenal, the performance. But as I said, we're in the results business, and I thought first half we were good, second half not so good. Villa could have won it, but then again, so could we. Um, but yeah, so it was just. But yeah, from the game on Saturday, it was a big difference in the players showed a lot more desire. Andrew, how you doing? Can someone tell me why Mount starts every match and players Kante, Kovacic, and Jersey are the ones? Um, I yeah, I had to give him a rest today. He wasn't at his best. He didn't look at his best today. I thought that he was going to be rested, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't know why he's always playing. That's a question for Frank. Um, I don't. Yeah, there's something going on, truthful, but I don't know what is going on at the moment with Twitter, not Twitter, with YouTube. YouTube seems to be stopping notifications now. That it's so annoying. It is annoying.
Hi
What's
Max, how are you?
Hey now, how you doing, mate? You good?
Yep, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, bit better performance today, but the result again wasn't the one that we would have hoped for. But yeah, we played better, a lot better than we did on Saturday, I think. What's your
Yep,
thought?
yep. So I think like from the past 5 games, like this has been one of the better performances.
Hmm.
Again, like I think Lampard could have done a few things better, like started Tomori ahead of Christensen, and started bench Jorginho, started Kovacic
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
But like there were some positives out of it as well. Like Callum Hudson-Odoi started on the wings, and then Giroud started up front. And when Werner came on, came on as a striker. So like I think the performance was good. Let's not be, too overreactionary. So
Hmm.
I blame like the today's draw on Frank Lampard. I think it was good. And if he keeps on learning, like our attack, like if he stays with the same, front three, like in the upcoming games, then I think we should be good.
Right. Okay. Yeah. 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 I agree with those. Yeah. Yeah. Christensen. I don't know. I wouldn't have. He's just so weak. It's just, he's annoying. But we'll talk about him a bit later when more people join the stream. LFC Ballers predictions for top 6. Liverpool are going to win the league, I think, because the fact that they've got all these players out missing and they're still winning games or drawing games against West Brom, but still, I still think Liverpool are probably going to win it. Um, it's a toss-up. Anyone who can hit a bit of form will get into the top 6. I just don't know right now. It's you know we're going for a rough patch at the moment. If we hit a bit of form, 2 or 3 wins can get you back up there again. Um, Man City probably will be in the top four, I'd say. And Manchester United, although they've been winning games, I don't think they're playing well. They're going to have a dip. Uh, Tottenham, yeah, possibly Tottenham, but it's a toss up. It's a toss up for me. Leicester are winning games, drawing games. There's nobody's hit that consistent level yet. I think we'll probably find some sort of consistency round about after January. So it's hard. Relegation, even the ones that Sheffield United are down. That's definite. Even Fulham are starting to hit a bit of form at the moment. Arsenal would just about scrape relegation. I think they'll finish probably fourth from bottom, maybe. um, let's West Brom. They've got a decent manager now, Sam Allardyce. So I can't see them going. Fulham possibly will still go down, although their results have picked up for them of late. And yeah, Sheffield United is the only definite. Sheffield United, possibly Fulham, and another. Yeah, I don't know. Don't start them. Mount slander. I thought Mount was okay, but I do think he needs a rest. It's not a slander for me. I just think he needs a rest. Yeah, YouTube agenda to take Burton Borders down. Probably that's what it's looking like. Oh, the ref. Oh, the ref was awful today. Absolute atrocious. Um, he was every time Grealish or one of their players fell down, he blew the whistle. Why didn't he? That shot just before this brilliant shot by Chilwell near the end, Pulisic got taken out, and that should have been a free kick, and he played on. How was that not a free kick? First 20 minutes, I thought he was doing okay, but then he went downhill after that, and yeah, he was just giving everything to them.
Yep.
Just it's,
I think the referee was very poor today. So like
yeah,
every time Villa player went down, he always gave them a foul. And
exactly.
there was one situation when Villa had a free kick, and their player, they fouled SP. He pushed SP on the face with his hand,
Yeah.
and he did not give a foul against them, and he instead, asked them to take again the free kick. So I
Mm.
don't know what he was doing.
It's ridiculous. And uh, a Stamford Bridge, how you doing? Yeah, we're okay. A bit better than the other day, but still would have liked to win to see Christmas off this year, but it's not. And plus, it looks like we're not going to be playing Manchester City on New Year's Day neither. So we're going to be without football for a few, because Manchester City players, for those who don't know, have all gone down with COVID, or some of them. So their match against Everton today has been called off. And I think we're meant to be playing Morecambe in the cup, and some of their players have got COVID as well. So we may not be playing Manchester United or Morecambe. So it looks like our next match is probably going to be on the 15th of January. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the players can get a bit of a rest. Maybe we can practice a few things on the training ground as well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. I also think like it could be a blessing in disguise.
Mm.
We could, train much better on the, training ground, depending
Yeah,
on that,
yeah.
on how to break down teams. And
Hmm.
even I think ZH would be back by then, so we would have a full squad going next time.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and the thing, had we been playing well, then no, I wouldn't have welcomed it. But the fact that we're going through a bit of a bad spell at the moment, it's a nice time to just have a break from
Yep.
football. Yeah. LFC, you said your predictions are, then you disappeared. What are your predictions then? I don't know. What are your predictions, Nav, while we're waiting for others? What's your prediction for top four and relegation?
I think Liverpool are going to win the league. Second could be Man City or Tottenham. Third would be, I hope so. This is Chelsea. Fourth, I think either Everton or Leicester are going to make it into the top four this season. Manu, they have been getting results, but I think they have been extremely lucky. The
Yeah,
way
yeah.
they have been
Mm.
playing crap for 80 minutes and they just turn up for 10 minutes or so, and they score, 2 to 3 goals in those 10 minutes. But
Mm.
it's not sustainable for the entire season. So I think they are going to have a dip in their form. And considering like everyone is so close, to each other in this season, I think uh, uh, either Everton or Leicester, they are going to make it to the top four. I hope it's Chelsea as well that makes it. So I'm going to keep them. But I think there will be a new team this time in the top four.
Oh, okay, interesting, interesting. Hey, Bobby, nice to have you on, mate.
Hi, hi. Yeah, good to be
Yeah,
on. Lots of
yeah.
chats going on YouTube. I was just waiting for you, really.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay. Mm,
I've got Maz
mm,
and the usual, but
yeah.
um, you kind of get used to one and just stick to it, really.
Uh huh. Uh
I
huh.
think yours is for me at the moment.
Mhm. Yeah. So, what's
But
your thoughts today on today's one?
disappointing. Still not good enough. Um, you know me, I will always have a go at the big centre back squirming on the floor, while after being tapped around the ankles. I mean, come on. Even Andy Townsend and Graham Lasso had a go, about that. You don't do that. This is the English Premier League. Christensen, he's grown up in the English Premier League. He knows what it's about. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
this is a league for men. I've got to, hardened men. To be fair, we've got people like Kante. I thought Kante did exceptionally well. He held his ground against a very tenacious McGinn.
Mm.
And looking at players like Pulisic, um, uh, bless him, Billy Gilmore whenever he's on, they won't squirm around like that. They're tiny.
Mm.
They may not be physically as strong as many other players, but they're not afraid to go to war, and you can't ask for any more than that. Yeah, I've been at the bridge. I'll never forget the game Chelsea played against Southampton, and the punishment Hazard got. Oh my God, I winced every time that guy touched the ball, and he would
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
get up
Let's get up again. Yeah. Yeah.
and get on with it. I mean, that
I know.
upset me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what annoyed me, as he said, after the goal, he just got up and he was running around as normal. So he
Yeah,
couldn't have been that badly, because if he was that badly hurt, he'd have been hobbling for at least 5 or 6 minutes afterwards, but he wasn't. So,
Yep.
he just there looking for. First of all, I thought it was a foul, but then looking at it again, there was just a coming together of the two players.
yeah.
So John Terry, you would never see John Terry doing that.
No,
John
not
Terry
at
would have
all.
been up on his feet and running back, even if he was hobbling. Even if he was injured, he'll
Yeah,
still be getting there, getting back into position and making it easy. 'Cause that's where their goal came from. We were man light at the
yeah,
back,
yeah.
and it just yeah. And
Remember,
some
remember Ivanovic
mhm.
playing with his boots soaked in blood, and when he took it off, he had this gash on
Yeah,
his
yeah.
foot.
Uh-huh.
These are the kind of players that we need. I mean, this is what it's about. I'm not saying be reckless and hurt yourself, but if you do get a little bit of a meaty challenge, I mean, come on, you're a man. You're not,
Yeah, you get up. You get up. I've, in my time and my level of football, I've had some knocks. We didn't used to have some physios coming on anyway when we played Sunday football.
Yeah,
So you take a knock. I used to get up, hobble back or whatever. I didn't roll around on the floor like a pansy or whatever. So these guys, this is their profession. They're paid to 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 get these knocks, and you got to be stronger. You got to be tougher. But my thing is, what has uh hey, Mikhail, how you doing? Yeah. So my thing is though, what's Tamori done? Has he had a bust up with Frank? Because why is he not in the look? Why is Christensen ahead of Tamori, for instance?
it's
You know,
amazing, isn't it?
I don't
I have
understand that.
no idea. I don't know what's gone on there,
Yeah.
but sadly, he will probably leave in January.
Mm,
Which is a shame because I still think Tamori is very, very talented. I
yeah.
can't see
Yeah.
what he's done not to get a start in a game like this ahead of Christensen.
I know. I know. It's weird. Weird.
I
So
mean,
Isaac, go on. Go on. Nev.
I also exactly feel the same way. So, like, the thing with Tomori is like he has the pace, he has the heading ability, but
Mm,
Christensen he neither has the pace, no, nor he is strong in the air. He's
mm.
not strong enough with the ball as well. So I
Yeah,
don't know why,
yeah.
he always starts ahead of Tomori.
Mm.
Maybe we are looking to sell him in January.
Oh,
Uh,
to add, yeah, yeah, yeah. But the only good thing
Mm.
about him is his passing is okay. I'll say, if it was a positive, then I'll say he's a decent passer of the ball. But at the end of the day, I want my defenders to be defenders first, passers
yeah,
of the ball second. That's the main thing. Hi, Mikhail. I'll get to your points in a minute. Isaac, that's if we play Man City, because Man City players have all gone down with, or some of them have had COVID, so we may not be playing them on Sunday. Reece James, I heard that he'd done a hamstring. It wasn't even his knee. It was just like, again, there's another injury with him on the hamstring. So I don't think he'll be ready for Sunday. So
That's if we play on Sunday.
that's what I'm saying. I can't see us playing on Sunday. We'll
Yeah,
have
it
to
doesn't
see.
look likely, does it?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Mikhail, what's the joining late? I just came on about 10 minutes ago, Mikhail. So when you're not that late, my consensus, my thing today, you're not convinced either way. I thought the performance was better. The result could, a lot better, but anything could be better than what we witnessed on Saturday, to be honest. But there's still something not quite right with the team at the moment. Something quite not ticking at the minute. And again, it's just nearly. We're just nearly doing this, nearly doing that. Pulisic, I don't think, is fully fit. He had a couple of chances of unformed Pulisic would have taken it. He played well. I'm not saying he didn't play
Yeah,
well, but I
I
just
thought he
thought,
did well today.
yeah, he did. But there's a couple of, I said, a super fit, super sharp Pulisic. As the Pulisic of last season would have scored the two
Yeah.
chances that he had today.
Yeah, when he
Yeah,
took that shot in the second half, I was like, "Oh no!"
yeah,
But he was
yeah,
all
yeah,
right. He
yeah,
seemed
yeah,
all
yeah,
right today.
yeah. And he lasted the 90 minutes, which was good without any injuries. Yeah, Hudson-Odoi, I liked him. He
Yeah,
had a good game, I thought. Yeah,
he
so
did.
I agree with you. The front three looked a bit more fluent today. There was more fluidity about the play with the front three. Giroud again shows me what thing needs to look at him. Abraham needs to look at him a lot in training and when he's playing, just to see his movement. The way he moves that near post and everything else, because that's what Giroud doesn't give us. That I mean, not Giroud. Callum, what's his name? Tammy. Tammy doesn't give us that movement with the crosses. So a great cross by Chilwell is an excellent finish, I thought, by Giroud.
Do you think we have the squad depth everybody says we have? I think we're
I
still a bit short.
I think we're unbalanced. I think our squad's very unbalanced, to be honest. I just we like, for instance, as you keep saying, Bobby, we lack that physical strength in midfield. The creativity, when it comes to passing, like a Fabregas type midfielder, Ziyech gives us the passing, but we haven't got anyone who does that. Has got that creativity when it comes to the passing. So when we have two players out, it shows. So that means that we are light in some areas.
Yeah.
So we've got too many similar type players, because Jorginho, to me, again wasn't great today. Yeah,
No,
I think he's on his way out, to be honest. Yeah.
there's not much else for him to do for us because it's in a game like this. You look at how McGinn was playing, and then look at Jorginho. They're just miles apart.
I know.
I think
Yeah.
tactically, I still don't see. Yeah, the turnaround in the game was really tight. It was 48 hours, but there were just some things that were still going on. We'll take a corner and hit it long every time.
Yeah.
And
It,
Martinez was just plucking it out of the air.
mm.
And
But
we were doing it when Giroud was off the field as well. I mean, really?
I know. But you know what? We missed that's what not with Silva and Zuma not playing, we miss that threat from corners because Christensen doesn't give us anything at corners. Even
Zuma should have played. I have no idea why Zuma never played.
Yeah, why was Zuma arrested? Because
I don't know why.
He has played a
If
lot.
he would have got us that. He would have got us that. We would have won that game if Zuma was playing. There was so many chances in the box where no one headed it. The only player that we've got is Zuma, but I don't know why he never played. Why?
Yeah.
The pressure is rising on Frank Lampard, and he needs to. I don't understand how you think. I don't understand why you don't play Zuma. He's not injured. I know for a fact that he's not injured. Ziyech is the only one who's injured. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Zuma never played this match. If Zuma played this match, we would have got the win straight. So I don't know why he doesn't play Zuma. He played Christiansen. What kind of thinking is that?
I don't know.
Christiansen. I actually thought from the start of this season that Christiansen won't play for Chelsea again. That's what I thought. Because why should he play? We've got Silva, we've got Zuma, we've got the likes of Tomori, who never plays. Never plays.
I know, that's weird.
How can you not play Tomori? Tomori is meant to be our main centre back. Probably he's the best alongside Zuma and them and Silva. So I don't know how he can't play Tomori. How does he not favour Tomori, or does he favour more Christiansen?
I think there's something going on behind the scenes. Really, there has to be.
I think the reason he didn't play Zuma was he had an eye on Man City. Nobody really heard about the Man City situation until just a few minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, but he wasn't even on the bench though, was he? He
totally rested him. I think he has his eye on City, because that would have been a tough game. If we play them on Sunday. Yeah, if we play them on Sunday, they're not going to be strong because half their team's out with COVID. I can't see that match going ahead, to be honest. I'll be really surprised.
That's a tricky
one.
But
to be fair, this game against Aston Villa, and I didn't come to the phone on last week because I was a bit ill. That's why. And I couldn't come to the Arsenal phone, and they beat us 3-1.
We're trying to figure out.
To be fair, this match was kind of a tough match because of that Grealish. What a player he is.
And what a diver as well. But that's not. Anyway, let's go on to this Mason, because I was going to come on to it. I thought Havertz was excellent when he came on. Thoughts on Havertz when he came? I thought he looked, apart from the one,
a few times.
No, just once. Apart from the one time he lost the ball, I thought that.
No, I've already done it.
I thought he did some good stuff. I thought he did some really good stuff when he came on. That little flick he did as well, and I thought he held the ball quite well. And he looked a lot more confident, didn't he? He looked a very confident Zuma. I mean, he looked a very comfortable Hazard today. I thought he did well.
I really liked the way he would change direction. Which really switched the play, and he did look good today.
So and then Werner played in his normal position, and then he.
Werner played in the middle for the first time I've seen.
Yeah. Well, I made a joke when he missed that shot.
He turned against Frank.
What's that, Tyrone? Hi, Tyrone, mate. How you doing? I can't hear what you said. What did you say?
Yeah. He turned against Frank.
Who? Werner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Elijah banter while watching the match?
Yeah, he did. But yeah, I want to wipe that one out of my memory as well.
Yeah, that was my memory. I can't believe it. That free kick and that goal by Saka.
That's a bit lucky.
It's gone viral, that goal.
That was lucky. That was a lucky shot.
I didn't think he meant it though. Saka didn't mean it.
course he didn't.
Yeah.
Did you see? Did anyone see Tammy Abrams' discussion with him afterwards?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He didn't seem off his line. He didn't mean it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know you didn't mean it. Let's have a bit of class and say that was a bit
Yeah.
of bit of luck.
And if you had missed it, you'd have probably said that he put too much on it.
There's loads of players who've done that same thing. Just hit it and it went straight in, and they didn't mean it back.
Yeah,
They meant it
yeah.
as a cross. So yeah, he can take it as a laugh for that.
Yeah, I agree with Mikhail. Yeah, we do. We've been saying that for ages. We need someone in midfield to harry the opposition and dribble past
Declan
challenges.
Rice.
Yeah. Someone like Declan Rice was needed,
But
definitely.
who's gonna replace him in midfield?
I think sometimes you need to give Mason Mount a rest because he plays a lot of games. So, or sometimes you give Kante a rest.
Yeah.
Or
you play him behind Kante. Kante was phenomenal today.
4-2-3-1 formation.
I don't think people really realise how he saved us.
We could play Ziyech on the right, and who is it? Havertz and Pulisic on the left. That works. Actually, no, Werner. Werner could play in the middle, on top. Actually, we could play a 4-2-3-1. Declan Rice and Kante, two DMs.
Yeah, what Frank definitely needs to find a formation to get the best out of his players. Havertz as a 10 would probably work. So yeah, but then that leaves out Mason Mount. Then
I can't believe it. Aston Villa, they are ahead of us now.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. They've drawn with us, so they have even 2 games in hand.
Yeah, they drew with us, so we've got a point each.
Yeah, but they're still ahead of us in goal difference.
Are they better than us in goal difference?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't even look at the league table after the Arsenal game.
I saw it and I realised that Aston Villa.
I couldn't look at it. When we lose, I don't like looking at the league table.
Yeah, I know. I hate it.
The 7 goals that they scored in their 2 matches.
Oh yes, the 7 against Liverpool, wasn't it? That's what.
And they've got two game differences. Two games in hand.
So they're literally 6 points ahead.
But they actually second half they
could be level with Liverpool.
Yeah. The thing is, we changed tactically in the second half. I don't know what changed because in the first half we were using the center like we should be. The second half we were using it, but we weren't using it as much. We kept passing it over to.
We need Ziyech back.
Over to Column, so. I don't know.
We really need Ziyech.
I don't understand, but it was working
We really
perfect,
need him.
so I didn't understand.
The second half, they switched tactics. They started pressing up a bit higher up the pitch.
Yeah,
and it caused us some problems, especially when Jorginho was on. He can't deal with the press.
He can't. No. And that's what we need. That's where Frank needs a bit of experience, because as you see, as a manager, he saw what was going wrong. Their manager, he could see what was going wrong, and he made those tactical adjustments to make them better in the second half. So what we need from Frank is a response as well.
Silly goal to concede.
Yeah, it was Things' fault though. As I said, we mentioned that already. It was Christensen went to sleep, left us a man light, and some people are blaming. I can't believe it. Some people are actually blaming Mendy for that goal.
Why?
Really?
Why?
I saw some people blaming Mendy. Idiots.
There's nothing he could do.
Are they blaming Mendy? Mendy didn't do anything wrong.
It's probably
nothing to do with Mendy at all.
You know what? It's probably those people who are still pining for Kepa for some strange reason.
Yeah, no, they just compare him to Kepa. They still compare him to Kepa. Well, that's what you're gonna get.
He nearly even saved it.
Yeah, I know. He nearly even saved it. That's a hard one to save. I don't know why they're comparing that to. I don't understand. Rival fans are just annoying.
I said it. The overhead kick.
What are you gonna get?
I don't remember. I
they
think it was
always
Martinelli.
say stuff to us.
No, Kepa's not saving that.
Yeah, Kepa never. Kepa's like what's
Yep, you
called?
have someone that's gonna
He's a
say that.
midfielder. Kepa's a midfielder. He's not a goalkeeper.
So Lefter is saying Chelsea need a new manager. So who would you have as our new manager, Lefter?
Apparently they want Tuchel. That's mad.
Yeah.
How can they want Tuchel?
Like that? No.
There's one good attribute about
All the Chelsea fans are going crazy
and he has that similar.
And they think they want Tuchel.
Hold on, Chelsea stand. 1 minute, Chelsea.
Anything? No.
Chelsea stand 1 minute. Let Tyrone say. I can't hear what Tyrone's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, Tyrone.
I was seeing this. There's one attribute that I respect about him, and that's Tuchel. He has that same playing style. Well, not playing style. He uses the same players that Frank Lampard would use. Well, not all, because I'm pretty sure he would use Jorginho, but he would use like the younger players as well, and you would know. And he had a history with Pulisic as well, with Dortmund. So I think he would work with him because he helped Pulisic when before he came to Chelsea. So that's one good thing. But the thing is, he got sacked. Remembering the fact that the reason why he got sacked, it really makes no sense. He was just he's 1 point behind. But I guess you have whenever you have a board that expects you to constantly win and always get the top and everything, that will come into play. So that's what happened.
I think the reason he had a fallout with the board, didn't he? Because he wanted certain players or something, so he had a fallout with them. So I think that's the reason.
Because that would make no sense.
I think I might need to go now. My wife has gone. I don't know why.
Right, okay.
I think it's gonna go any minute now.
All right, nice having you on, mate.
Okay.
I keep forgetting that former Juventus manager's name.
Allegri.
Yeah.
Why are we talking like this? We've got to let Frank get through this. Fortunately or unfortunately, we've got a young manager in many ways still learning his trade. And we're at a stage where even if he was a seasoned manager, this is a difficult part of the season. People like Mourinho are struggling. Pep is struggling a bit. This is a tough part of the season where you really have to find that bit extra. Villa are doing well for now, but this time last year they were nowhere. I think it's too knee-jerk. We've got to give him that time. I know it's frustrating. Sometimes I want to get a gun and shoot him when he doesn't do certain things, but we've got to give him that time. We just can't be talking. Tuchel's not going to do anything with Chelsea. Allegri, he's not used to the Premier League. It will take him ages to get the sort of...
it's just flavour of the month. Grass is always green on the other
I
side.
heard someone say this. Get a German manager.
Get a German manager in, Tuchel, or the other guy.
Can't beat Klopp. Get another one.
But McCarl's making some good points here as well. I've been reading through whilst we've been talking, and some very good points as well. That's the thing. I keep saying we've got nobody who can take a shot from range, so it's easy to defend against us. We need. If you saw my video that I did at just before the match, I was talking about variety in play. We need to find different formations because we're becoming a bit too one-dimensional at the moment. And agreed with him, when the crosses are coming, anticipation on late runs for cleared crosses needs work. Exactly, because if we're putting in the crosses and people are clearing it, then we need Frank should be, because Frank was the master of late runs, wasn't he? He was the master of coming in, and if anyone can coach somebody on how to make those late runs, then you'd have thought Frank would be the one, because he made his living on making those late runs into the box. And he's also made a living of scoring goals from range as well. So, is Citrix, does he want to come on, or is he keeps coming on and off?
The thing is, now more than ever, it makes me very, very frustrated with the fact that Callum Hudson-Odoi is not getting the minutes that he deserves. I'm happy he got to show that he has the potential, and you have some fans that think he's reached his highest potential, which makes no sense to me, because there's still some parts of his performance that needs to be improved, but he's still young, and if he is playing the way he's playing now, and I said it before, when in the Arsenal game he came on and he literally changed the playing style because we weren't using the center. So if he continues to perform this way, then I'm pretty sure that he will be extraordinary. And obviously, he is getting to that stage because Bayern Munich wanted him, and that's another thing that frustrates me too, because we kept him and we're not using him so he can be convinced that we actually value him. So that's another thing.
He's a very intelligent footballer. His passing is very underrated as well. Some of those crossfield passes today he was doing, and his movement is quite good as well. So he's got the ability to dribble past players. A lot of people were saying they didn't think he was good today because he wasn't dribbling past players and everything else. But there's more to his games than just dribbling the ball past players. You know, he's got a lot more in his locker. There's a little good move when he had that shot. It's a pity he couldn't put a bit more purchase on that shot.
That Kante shot too. That Kante shot.
Oh, that Kante shot that was a poor shot there. He should have got more. But he's not known for his shooting, is he? And that's a frustrating thing for me. Did you see that McGinn shot? The difference between that McGinn shot and some of the shots that we were doing from distance. That McGinn shot. Had that gone in, then had we lost to a girl like that, we couldn't complain because that was a fantastic shot. The one in the crossbar.
I like McGinn. I've always liked him. You know, he's such a tenacious player. His endeavour from beginning to end of every game I've seen him is faultless. You know, he will run for you until he drops.
Yeah,
he's a real dogged fighter, and that's what we need in midfield. We've got Kante, yes, but we need someone solid like that to back him up.
Yeah. And you know, something I picked out what the commentators said, which is because obviously they were missing Tyrone Mings, who's their captain and their talker, but they said that McGinn took on that mantle. He took on that leadership, and he was always talking and cajoling and getting the players up for the game. We lack that. We still lack the talk, and that apparently that was the reason given why Jorginho started, because he's vocal on the pitch. So that's probably why it explains why he started ahead of someone like a Gilmore. Hey Baggy, how you doing, mate? Are you coming on? I thought Baggy said he was going to come on. I'll send you the link.
Do you think we should?
Does anyone know what's happened with?
We could do a swap deal.
For who? A swap deal for who?
And McGinn.
Yo, how's it going, lads?
Barkley.
Yay! Hey Baggy, how you doing, mate?
Not bad. Better than the Arsenal result, but still bad though.
That's what I was saying. The performance was better, but the result again, yeah. But I did say 1-1. If anyone saw my thing, I predicted 1-1 today. And the reason I said the team's still not playing confident, and I'd like to see a bit of reaction when they scored that goal. To be honest, you know, we had a couple of shots to be fair, but I'd like to see it more for reaction because I thought Villa looked stronger.
Did you see the post-match interview with Frank Lampard? Did you hear what he said?
I didn't. I was just having dinner. That's why I started this stream late, because I had late dinner.
I actually saw it, and he was positive about it. He said it was a good performance. We were unlucky to not to convert a lot of those chances, but it was a good performance. And to be honest, I was surprised at that, because I would have thought that Frank Lampard would have wanted us to have a better performance than that.
Yeah, but I think maybe the other day he kind of threw them under the bus. He sort of blamed all the players and everything else. So maybe a different reaction, rather than if he said that they were poor again for the second week, then maybe not. So that's probably what his thinking was behind it. By saying it was
fair enough. Yeah,
that kind of confused me too. That confused me too because he said he was frustrated because he wants us to win games, and now he's saying that the performance was good and unfortunately we couldn't convert all those shots. So sometimes I find it hard to believe what he says sometimes because he says one thing one week and then he says the other thing the other. So I don't know, but he needs to work on that.
Yeah,
sometimes he blames the players, and it's okay to blame the players sometimes, but you can't put all the blame on the players because it's your responsibility to ensure that they go there, they do their best, and if something's not happening the way you want it to, you have to speak. Then that's when it's okay to call out the player and say they're not doing this, do something to rectify it. But he's putting the blame on all the players. That was a wrong move. He should have at least taken a bit of blame and say he's a manager or something along those lines instead of blaming the players. But
yeah, that's what I mentioned.
He's still new to management, and over time he'll understand that you can't always do that. And the fan base is already at his head right now, so that was something terrible to do.
Talking about the fan base, as Ed, I saw some really stupid remarks today, some comments by so-called Chelsea supporters, and someone said, "Oh, because we know when we were mentioned with Tuchel, someone said, oh, if that means Tuchel coming, I wish we lose today." Seriously?
Oh God! No. We all knew Frank Lampard was going to get sacked, whether or not we lost the match. He wouldn't.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
What is your expectations for this season? What would be a good season for you from where we are right now?
I said at the beginning of the season, I want top 4. That's all I said. I didn't think some people were getting a bit hype after we made all those signings and said we're going to be fighting for the league. I said, no, these guys got a gel. Unless they hit the ground running, then yeah. I said a top 4 position for me. Top 4 is a bare minimum, I think. With the money what's been invested, he's had 2 seasons. He's going to have, this is his second season now. So I just want to see a top 4, and also not only top 4, but a style of play, an identity, which we the fans can, they say, okay, this is the way, this is Chelsea's style, because at the moment we have got a style, but not the style that most of us would like. The pass, cross, something, something a bit more.
There's a nickname for it too. There's a nickname for the club right now. What is it? Inshallah or something like that. I don't remember. I think that's the nickname that we're getting. But the thing is too, before the Arsenal game, we had so many fans, and this is one thing that I didn't respect, was the fact that you had some fans before the game where it's like, we what was it? I think someone said we shook Arsenal, and this is the time for us to finish them off. And because of that one statement, when Arsenal defeated Chelsea, you had the Arsenal fans, especially AFTV, well, not AFTV itself, was saying that we beat them in FA Cup and we just added one more goal to it. So that was one frustrating thing, because here in DT have that confidence. It was kind of frustrating, but whenever he says something, the opposite actually happens. I remember when he said after the West Brom game, he was like, Arsenal are going to finish ahead of Chelsea. He doesn't care about the fact that Chelsea came back. They're not making top 4. And if we play the way we do right now, then you might have to believe him. But sometimes some things that he say, it's rational, but sometimes it's just irrational and just in the moment.
Yeah, I don't believe anything he says. Go on, Peggy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, in regards to expectations, what you said there, Max, I agree with you. But there's one thing else that I want to see. On top of us finishing in the top four, I want to see us close the gap between us, Man City, and Liverpool. I don't want to see a 10-point gap between us, 15-point gap. I want to see us being there or thereabouts. That's what I want to see for this season. I was never expecting us to be winning the title this season.
Yeah.
So I never had that expectation. But there is something else that we have to look at in respect to Frank Lampard and his management. From Derby to Chelsea last season and to Chelsea this season, Frank Lampard is not able to be consistent. Frank Lampard has a good run, then he has a dip, and then he struggles, but then he starts to build up momentum again, and he will have another good run. Okay, we saw that last season. We had a dip at the beginning of the season, then we had a really good one, and another dip, and then we finished the season quite well. And we're having that now. This is the dip. This is where Lampard is dipping.
Yeah.
And we need to expect that. I reckon we need to expect that, and just take it and learn from it, and move on from it.
Yeah. Because my first preview video, which I just squashed and I had to put a different one in, because that one I was just going on, and that lasted about 15 minutes, and all the points that you made, Baggy, I did, because I did some analysis of the games, and the pattern is so similar, because we had last season we got beat by, was it Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United? No disgrace, but then we had the back-to-back defeats. Then it was win, lose for a period. Then after lockdown, we got our form back. And that's what you see in this season. We lost a game, then we went on a nice run. And then now we're, only one winning of 6 or something. So, so as you said, at Derby, it was the same thing as well. Is it because, my thing is, I think it's because the way that he plays, he likes the players to play that pressing game, the high tempo, closing down. And I think when it comes to sort of Christmas time, the players get a bit tired because he's not sort of rotating. Because when you think Werner up until today has played every minute or most games, Mason Mount, he plays him week in, week out. So a lot of those players, that's where the press starts, especially from Mason Mount. And if his energy levels are not there, then sometimes you see him with Kante, sometimes his energy levels are not there. So we just need to rotate a little bit more. If you look at Klopp, I think I mentioned it in my video, when they played Everton, they went to Everton last season, and he left out there too. So he left out Salah and Mane, and put Zakiri and what's his name, Origi in, and they won the game 3-1. So that way, his star players were rested, and that's it. So sometimes he pulls people out, gives them a rest at the right time, so that they're always coming back a lot fresher.
Do you know? Today's game. If we had Reece James playing instead of Aspie, and if we had Aspie playing in the last game, it would have made a lot more sense, because Reece James's crosses, Giroud being up front, would have made a lot more sense than having him with Tammy. And you see, that's the thing. Frank Lampard needs to pick the players for the system rather than the system for the players. And I agree with what you said about the pressing system. That's why he loves Mason Mount, because Mason Mount is really good when it comes to pressing, and that's his main attribute. You see, I think Mason Mount has a lot to offer, but I think Frank Lampard is not utilizing Mason Mount to the best of his abilities. Can you imagine that energy that Mason Mount has if he has a couple of games a rest and a couple of games a rest? Yeah, you will see a lot more higher intensity from Mason Mount. Mason Mount does look fatigued. He does look tired. I mean, today I thought Mason Mount looked tired. Yeah,
his energy levels weren't the normal standards. So I was surprised that he played him today, because I thought they'd have given him a rest, to be honest. Yeah, is it Alfred?
I didn't have it in my preferred lineup though.
Alfred
for rotation.
Right. Is Alfred on? There's the guy Alfred. I'm not heard from him. Is he?
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. Let's hear from you because I've added you to the stream. Let's see what you got to say. Go on, off you go.
To be honest, I'm one of them who wanted Lampard out today, and I want Tuchel in.
Right. Okay. So why is that then?
I just dislike Lampard, and I just don't get him, to be honest. And when you talk about system, what kind of a system does he has? He has no systems. I mean, you talk about giving him time. Time for what? I mean, what is he doing? What is his system, to be honest? He's just copying Harry Redknapp. And he doesn't realize that Harry Redknapp was for Portsmouth and for West Ham. His system was to give chance to academy players because he had lack of resources. And that's what Lampard is trying to copy. But he is managing Chelsea. You can't have 250 million talent, Havertz, Werner, then you have Pulisic, Ziyech, and then you put them against Mount, Odoi, Tammy Abraham.
But hold on.
He's obsessed with comparing world-class talent with academy players. That's his system.
But hold on a minute. Last season, he had to play those players, okay? And so I don't get what you're saying with because he's playing Mason Mount. I can't see why you're saying about with Werner. Werner's been played every game this season. He just came out of the firing line today, and that's because he's been off form. And I know people are saying he's playing out of position. That's why he's off form. That's open to debate. But his touch hasn't been there at the moment. Havertz did start the season, so he wasn't. He hasn't favoured any of the academy players ahead of Havertz because Havertz did start. But then we all know with Havertz that he was finding his feet. Once he started to find his form, he got COVID, so it took a bit of time for him to recover from the COVID. So and now he's just got to be nursed back in as well. So I don't think he should be in the firing line straight away. If you look at how what he did with Pulisic last season, Pulisic didn't come in straight away. He gave him time to adjust and acclimatise to the Premier League. Then the second half of the season, you saw the best of Pulisic. So I think that's what you're going to see with Havertz, because with Havertz today, you started to see a different type of Havertz, and I think that's because he hasn't played in all the games yet. He's probably finding, so give him minutes, get him used to it again, then you finally integrate him back into the side again. Yeah,
Max,
go on.
But to be honest,
Max, can I just address a part of that question as well?
Yeah.
Is it Alfie? Am I talking to Alfie?
It's Alfred. Yeah, Alfie. Yeah.
Alfred. Alfred, in your question, you asked about the Lampard system and what is Lampard's system. You make a very good, you make a valid point there. But the thing is this. Lampard was chosen to manage one of the top teams in the UK, one of the top teams in England. Okay, by
for Everton, and he stepped down when Ancelotti came in.
So let me just give me a minute. Let me just answer your question, and then I'll let you jump in. Lampard was picked by one of the most strict, intense boards in the Premier League. One of the boards that would never give managers a chance, if they string a couple of bad results in. And we've seen it with some great managers in the past. I mean, Chelsea has had some of the best managers on the planet. And, once they have bad results, our board, sacks them. They brought in a manager who's only had one season of professional football. Okay, so when they brought him in, they knew that Lampard comes in with a massive room for improvement. This guy is going to be lacking. This guy is going to be learning on the job. And Chelsea and their board, they've known this. Okay, so when you're talking about his system, he needs to develop his. Sorry, let me just finish. He needs. Sorry,
the first day he came in, and now
you're not giving me a chance to answer your question.
Alfred, let Baggy finish, and then you can come in with your counter argument. Yeah. So go on, Baggy.
Yeah. So Lampard is now building his system. Lampard is for lack of a better phrase, he's learning on the job. Whether you or I like it or agree with it or disagree with it, this is what the Chelsea board has elected to do. Okay, so at the end of the day, they are the ones that are going to be benefiting or suffering from the decision that they have made. Now, I agree with you that his system is lacking. I agree with you, and I think most Chelsea fans today would be dishonest if they agree with the way that Frank Lampard is managing the team tactically and in respect to a lot of the decisions he's making. He's making a lot of errors, but the Chelsea board have elected to have him, and they're expecting this from him. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear. This is something that our board has decided. So, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Alfred,
on the right track. But I've actually identified what Lampard's intentions are. Okay, he is exactly copying Harry Redknapp case. He is following.
In what way? In what way is he copying Harry Redknapp?
He thinks that putting academy players against world-class players, he's going to get the best out of the club.
But he's not doing that, though. He's not doing that because last season he was forced to put those players in because we had a transfer ban. So
no. We're talking about this season, right?
Yeah.
When we have got the best players, I know I've seen Werner and Havertz. They are world-class, world beaters. You can't put them against Mount, Odoi, or Tammy. You're taking Werner. Werner is a striker. He's not playing on his position. And then you're putting Tammy up front over there. And then you expect Werner to be scoring 20-odd goals. And then Mount, what is he doing? He had a lot of terrible games. And he's still in the squad.
Mount is not having that's a bit harsh saying he's having a lot of terrible games. So he's not having terrible games. Mount is doing okay. So he's integral to the way that Frank Lampard likes to play in the pressing games. I agree. Sometimes he could be rested. I've said that, but it's football. He's playing to a system, and Frank likes Mount because he works hard for him in the system that he has.
What? Frank Lampard likes Mount is understandable because Harry Redknapp liked Lampard. Okay, he's doing the same thing over and over again.
But look at you said Harry Redknapp liked Lampard, but look at the player. Look at the player.
Global club, and I have understood the mentality of Lampard. Lampard mentality is very regional based. He's trying to have a regional fan base by putting in Odoi, Mount, and Tammy. This is how Jose Mourinho club or Alex Ferguson club doesn't run like that.
But listen, why would he want to? Listen,
you need to be a bit open-minded.
I am very open-minded.
Can I say something?
All right, then let Bobby say something. Then Nav, you say something afterwards. Yeah, okay.
I think this is. I think this is a bit harsh, and it's lacking in substance. To start saying now, to bring in somebody like Tuchel, who himself has really done nothing, and certainly has done nothing in the English Premier League, is very, very premature. Frank is what he is. There was a deliberate decision to bring him in to grow a team at Chelsea. Yes, because of the money spent, there is an expectation. In fact, I'll go a step further to the others that have said that top four is the expectation. I'll add a trophy to that as well. Whether he manages to achieve that or not, I don't think it will get him the sack. I think his objective is to create a team. And if it takes him another season to do that, you'd be surprised how tolerant this board will be of him, because they put him there knowing who he is. It's the fans that won't be that tolerant. We will get very impatient being the people we are, and having been spoilt the way we've been spoilt over the past few years with the successes we had. But really, if you really think about it, and you think about how young this team is, and you think about the young players that have come in that we're expecting a whole lot from, it's quite a steep hill to climb. it can be done, but we've got to give him a chance to do it. And a few bad results shouldn't have us calling for his head.
Nev.
So I don't agree with Elfrey points that he's promoting youngsters and placing them ahead of the curve with respect to the world class talent. So, for example, he started Callum Hudson-Odoi just in this game, and prior to that, he wasn't playing him at all.
Exactly.
So you can see Tomori as well. He's also he's also a Chelsea academy product, but he's not starting as well. You see Christensen as well. He was also a Chelsea academy product. He did not start at all. We had to rest Silva and Zuma, and that's why he got the game right. So he's not promoting all the Chelsea academy products. He's only promoting the ones who he feels they can develop and become big players for Chelsea, in the future. Second point, like if he does not play Callum Hudson-Odoi today, who should he play on the wing? That's a question to Alfie.
Yeah, Alfie. Yeah, who should we play today on the wing?
Howard should have started the game.
Who?
Howard.
Havertz where? In what position?
Mount would have gone to his position, and then Mount would have been.
So you're playing players out of position. That's the problem that we've had in the past. We've had wingers. We've had Havertz playing on the wing, and he looks he's not look comfortable on the wing. So even when as Nav said, even when Callum Hudson-Odoi has been available, he's been playing Havertz in his position, and even when and Werner has been playing on the wing as well. So I can't see how the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi are getting preference over Werner and Havertz.
He has been getting preference. The thing is, when you have a bias to certain players, then you can't become a top manager. That's
Max. Can I jump in?
Yeah.
I know where Alfred is coming from. I know what he's trying to say, and to a certain degree, I agree with him. In respect to he's alluding to Lampard's favoritism, or at least the perception of favoritism, and Lampard does have that. Lampard does have, or at least he's unable to get himself away from that a reputation that he's built, that he has favoritism to certain players. I mean, Giroud should be starting more games over Tammy Abraham. Mason Mount should be rested more. I mean, these are all tactical decisions and management decisions that we kind of have pointed out. But to say that I would rather see Havertz playing instead of Callum on the wing. No, that's a big issue, and that's the issue that we had with Mason Mount. We did not want to see Mason Mount playing on the left wing because we started the season that way, and that was out of order because he had players better in that position. So I agree that we should have Havertz on the pitch. We should have Werner on the pitch. I agree that they are world-class players who should be playing. However, because of them being played out of position and because of their lack of confidence as a result of that, we're having to drop them. I mean, we saw a Havertz performance in today's match. When he did all right. When he came on, he did good, and that's because he has felt the pinch. He has felt the need to perform. Otherwise, his career is in jeopardy, and that is what he's doing now. He's performing. Werner being played in his position in the future, I think would be beneficial for him.
Can I add something to this?
Werner confidence has been literally, to be honest, he's been abused by Lampard.
Can I add something to this?
Alfred, I'll address the Werner thing in a minute. So, Bobby, you go.
Can I add something? I mean, after the Arsenal game, I criticised Frank fiercely. I was so angry at what was clearly a very, very below par performance from on the pitch, coming from the bench. But looking at the bigger picture, I think, this is a bit unfair on Frank. Frank is here to develop a team. The reason he plays these youngsters is that part of his remit is to give them a chance. We all keep banging on about, oh, these young players from the academy don't get a chance.
You don't have the Russian money. You don't need to develop a team. We need to be winning Champions League and EPL.
Yes, we do, but we've got a longer term project. We haven't got a quick fix project at the moment.
But listen, as Green, welcome Green Surf, and he made a good point. So we're not going to be. In order to do that, we need to be buying the Haalands, the Mbappes, the Camavingas, the world-class players. Yeah, so we are not in that position at the moment to go out and buy it. We're making a start when we're buying the likes of Havertz and Werner. That's a start. This is a building process. So we need to be getting these players on board now, getting them signed. This is a 3-year project. If anyone saw,
absolutely.
So apparently this year he was going to get some of the parts of the jigsaw puzzle. Next year he's going to get a top class centre back, and we're after Haaland apparently. I'm not sure how true
and
those
a CDM.
And a CDM. So once we get those 3 players in, then I think next season they're going to see a push for the title. So it's. Yeah, but it's not people want immediate success all the time. It's not happening. We're in a rebuilding stage. Everyone at some point has to rebuild. Liverpool took years to rebuild. Now they're where they are. You know, Manchester United are in the rebuilding process. Remember, Manchester United were winning league after league after league. When big players go, sometimes it takes time to replace that. Not only to replace the players, but to replace the personalities, the leaders, and that sometimes that's built in from the DNA of the club. The likes of your Mason Mounts, your Tammys, and things. They know the DNA. They get the club, just like Terry got the club a few years ago. When Terry started and Lampard, when they started under, I'm not sure when you started supporting Chelsea, Alfie, but I've been supporting Chelsea for years, and we were winning a few things with Vialli, a guy called Vialli and Ruud Gullit, but then we had a guy called Ranieri, the one who managed Leicester, and it took him 4 years. Took 4 years to build the side that Jose Mourinho then took on to win us titles, because he was, we bought in Terry. We were patient with Terry. Can you imagine if now people were saying, why is Terry playing ahead of? Back then, we had a guy called Frank Leboeuf. It'll be, why is he dropping Frank Leboeuf in favour of Terry? Why is he dropping Petit in favour of Frank Lampard? Those 2 players went on to become legends of our club, and that's through patience, having patience in those players, seeing something in those players, sticking with those players, and we've reaped the rewards over a long period of time. So that's what we need to be thinking of long term.
Very good point. You can compromise on defense and midfielder. You can change Lampard. You can change Terry. Okay, you can change midfielders and defenders, but you can't compromise on a striker. There is not a single club who has won EPL with their academy strikers. You cannot have Tammy Abraham to win EPL and Champions League. You can have Lampard in midfield for a top Petit, or you can have Terry for Leboeuf. They are defenders and midfielders, not as strikers.
So that's why we're bringing in Haaland for when Giroud leaves in the summer.
You already have we already have Werner, right? Why we are not using him properly?
When you say not using him properly, Werner, okay, he's played. If you look at some of his games, I know, Beg, you're probably not going to agree with me on this because you say that he's playing that position. I think he's okay. He's playing on the left, but he's not playing. He's not saying, "Look, you have to stick to the left." I was looking at a lot of things when they're saying that he's playing on the left. He's playing as a left-sided forward more. If you look at the other week, he was interchanging a lot. In the last few games, I was looking at him. Sometimes he goes left, sometimes he goes right, sometimes he was in the middle. Because there was one game where Tammy was actually playing wing for 10-15 minutes, and I thought they'd change positions, and Werner was actually in the middle. So there's a lot of interchanging. When he played for Borussia RB Leipzig, he played off the left-hand side, and we had Poulsen was playing as a main man. He was playing off Poulsen, but he likes to come in off the left. A lot of his goals, if you look at his goals when he was at RB, he comes off the left and comes in and utilises his pace. My theory, the reason why he's struggling, to me, is because there's a lot of teams in England who play low block. In France, in Germany, there's only a few teams who play low block. Most teams in Germany play a high line. They play attacking football. He had lots of space in behind. And if you looked at I studied him a lot before he came to Chelsea, because Bundesliga was the only football on before. No, that was the first league to start after COVID, and he missed quite a few chances as well. He's never been like one of these strikers who's going to score 100%. He's going to score. He'll get about 4 or 5 chances in a game, and he'll probably score 2 out of the 4 chances that he gets in the game. So if you study him and know the player, then yeah. And as Green Turf has said, Werner is played as a CR7's like Son, not really as a winger. Exactly. That's what I was saying. So he plays more infield off the left, like Son does, but he has license to roam.
Werner can't dribble.
If I can jump in here for a second.
Go. That's it. He needs the last ball.
Werner can't do what? Do you say, Alfred?
Werner would not be. He's not that type of player that would dribble past the players that you're putting him in wing. He wouldn't.
Yeah, but he likes to make those inverted runs as well, those darting runs. That's why when we had Ziyech, Werner was looking better, because Ziyech can play those sort of balls to him. So without Ziyech in the side, that's why Werner's suffering a little bit. That's my opinion. Yeah, sorry, Baggy, you go on.
Yeah, I think you've answered the point that I was trying to make in regards to the way that the leagues defend. The Bundesliga and the Premier League, the defenders and the systems that they play is different, and that is why we're not seeing the results of Werner that we saw in the Bundesliga. That being said, him being played on the wing is different than playing as a centre forward. It's like saying a DM and a cam. They're both playing the centre of the park. They do, but they both have different responsibilities and roles. So for him to be on the wing, it is not the same as him being as a forward, as a centre forward. That being said, I know another point you're trying to make, but do you remember when Hazard was asked to play as a centre forward? He struggled, even though it's only a few yards to the right. He struggled playing as a centre forward, so it's not easy to approach it from that way. I wanna go back to a point you also made about the history of the club, and going back to the days of Violi and Ranieri and whatnot. This is one of the issues that a lot of the Chelsea fan base have today. They are complacent. They don't know how hard it was for Chelsea to become the Chelsea of today. And the history that we have, the battles that we've had, the struggles that we've had to become one of the top teams in the UK, in England. It took us a long time to do that. I mean, a lot of fan bases look at Chelsea as a team who have bought their way to success. I mean, we did have a lot of money invested, but we also had a good foundation there before Roman came and bought the club. Chelsea had a fighting spirit. They had some really good players. They really, the fan base of 20 odd years ago would be laughing at the way that people are reacting to the results that we're seeing today. The passion that we should have is a passion for Chelsea, not the passion for this player, that player, this system, that system. What we should be looking at is how can Lampard make us better, rather than what Lampard should be doing. Taking this player out, swapping him for that player. That's not our job. That's the manager's job. But I know why people are saying that. I know why people are saying that is. Sorry, just give me a second.
In the era, you could see Hasselbank, Gudjonsson, all these players progressing and the team progressing. You don't see that with Lampard. I would be in for Claudio Ranieri to come back over Lampard.
That's
that era was very close to winning.
Nostalgia, I agree. If we're going down nostalgia route, but if we're going down the actual attributes and the way we are and where we are today, Ranieri, I'm not too sure about that.
I got to say,
he was actually progressing. We were about
anybody expecting this current Chelsea project to be complete in anything quicker than 3 years is deluded. You know, we expect a lot of Chelsea. You can do well while building a squad, but this squad will not be ready for another 2 seasons at least. There's a lot to fit in, a lot of new young players to build up in the Chelsea way. And this is what Frank is doing. He still has 2 or 3 more players to add to the squad before he gets everything ticking over nicely. It's going to take time.
What will he sign?
Right. Okay, one other question for you then, Alfred, because we've seen it before, and that's why Chelsea are where they are at the moment, because we've started a project, it's not worked, and then the chairman's got itchy. He starts to get a bit nervous because it's not working straight away. Then somebody else comes in, and then what they're doing, they're left with some players from the previous sides. Because if you look at what Frank's left with, he's left with Jorginho, a player who's not really fit to play in the style that he wants to play. We've left with Alonso, who's more for the fullback, Emerson. So Tuchel comes in and he says, "Oh, I don't fancy that player. All of a sudden, he's going to go out and buy another 3 or 4 players who suits his style of football or something else. So you know, everyone has their style of you know, unless you're going to get someone who's looks at the players and thinks, you know what, I can work with the players that I've got. I don't need to get anyone else in or something, because, you know, that's why chopping and changing all the time isn't always effective.
No, we can't do that. We can't do that, Max.
I want to make a point. Project Lampard, Project Rashford, Project Saka, these things don't win you EPLs and Champions League. I don't believe in these projects.
Can I make a point?
I'm not against academy players, to be honest. I want them in midfield and defense, but you can't win with them in attack.
You can't win with them in attack. Okay, and who won the Champions League? Who won the Champions League this last season, Alfred?
Who won the Champions League? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a question for you. Who won the Champions League?
Munich. Did Munich?
Okay. So there's a certain guy called Thomas Müller who plays for them in attack.
I'm not German. German is totally different thing.
Why is it different though?
Why? Because it took Bayern years to get to where they are now.
German players, German youngsters are already rich before they get their contracts. So when they get their money, they're not overexcited. They're down to earth. That is a totally different league. I'm talking about England.
Yeah, so you're saying Mason Mount isn't down to earth?
Mason Mount, I don't have a problem with Mason Mount, to be honest, but you can't win EPL with him. Can you? Can you win?
You can. Listen, I remember a few years ago.
Listen, what did Rashford did last week?
It doesn't. You seem because you mentioned people like Ranieri. So I think that you obviously are a bit older as well, and you know about football. I remember something. Who was Bobby? You'll know this. Who was it? Who said you can't win anything with kids? And Manchester United went and won a treble.
Alan Hansen,
that was it. Match of the day. Alan Hansen. You can't win anything with kids. That's when Beckham was there. Gary Neville. You had
Nicky Butt.
Yeah, and they won the treble. They were sustained success.
They had Andy Cole, Dwight York, Teddy Sheringham. You know.
Yeah, but
they had academy players.
But 5 of their players were academy players.
That's how you don't integrate academy players into your team. You don't put pressure on them.
Right. Who's keeping Tottenham relevant at the moment?
Tottenham, is it an EPL winning league?
No, who's keeping Tottenham relevant at the moment?
EPL winning team. That's what I'm saying. It's a Harry Redknapp mentality.
No. Harry Kane is keeping Tottenham relevant at the moment, and with a bit more. If they weren't so Spursy, they probably would have won a league by now.
Harry Kane has. How many Harry Kane EPL? How many EPL? Harry Kane is a player.
It's not the fault of Harry. It's not the fault of Harry Kane though. Harry Kane
right now, and he would win EPL with Chelsea.
Yeah, but he's an academy player. He's someone else's academy player. He came from an academy. everyone's an academy player from some academy at some point of this in their life. They came from an academy.
Listen,
Obviously.
you need to travel. As an academy player, you need to travel. You cannot sit in a club and think you're going to win EPL. That's never ever happened. In 30, 40 years of history, no EPL has been won by academy striker.
That's not true.
No, Michael Owen won the. Did they win the league with Michael Owen? I can't remember. No, they didn't actually. That was after.
Ian Wash.
Yeah. I think you're being too mechanical. I don't know the name of the guy. You think everybody has to have a Galacticos.
It's the most important position. Okay, I would love to have.
I got a great one. I got a great one actually, and Lionel Messi, job done. Thank you. And they've won many players. Why are we not talking about? You said we can't. I'm mentioning players now, and you say why are some players not included, but others are. You're asking about no club can win it with an academy, but then. Or are you talking about English clubs?
They win World Cup after 4 years. Brazil wins World Cup after 4 years. German wins World Cup after 4 years. We won in 70s or what? We don't have that grassroots level system what they have, right?
What are you talking about? I'm sorry. I just think this is off. This is just.
I'm telling you. Lampard has a mentality of Harry Redknapp, but he's not realizing that this is Chelsea. This is a club of spoiled children who wants to win.
Lampard played for Chelsea for 13 years. He was part of the greatest era this club has ever seen. You can't tell Lampard anything about Chelsea.
Would he make a manager of Arsenal? No.
No, that's not the point. You were saying that he's copying Harry Redknapp. He knows the pressures at this club. He's seen managers come and go for not achieving the high standards that are required. He has a remit. He has a mandate. He has to build. Lampard is in a building project. We're not in the let's put together a ready-made team anymore like we used to, like Real Madrid does every year. We're building a team now.
Can I just jump in there for 1 second? 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got a Champions League winner who was an academy player, and I've got a Premier League player who was also an academy player. He was. Let me just say he wore the number 26.
JT.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's sad, I mean, mate, I'm old school, I can remember the days as a kid going to Stamford Bridge and putting money in a bucket to save the club. I go back that far.
Yeah.
But so I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I try not to look back too much because football's not about looking backwards unless you're an Arsenal fan or a Liverpool fan. It's about looking forwards. And with Chelsea, we've done we buy all the players but put them together to win things. Now we're looking for a longevity. We're looking for a system, a conveyor belt of success, and it takes time. Yes, there's going to be ups and downs. Yes, we're going to have a slap in the face like we did against Arsenal. It's horrible. It really infuriates us, but it comes with the territory. We've got to give this guy some time. I can't really see the sense in, just get rid of him and then we get someone else and start again. It's just going to mess everything up. And if you really think about it, he's not really done that much wrong. Lampard hasn't done that much wrong.
I totally disagree.
Can I make one point here?
You can give Nagelsmann a time, but you can't give Frank time. You've seen what has he done.
So, first point here, what we expect.
So 1 minute. 1 minute now. Tyron, sorry, I'm just going to take you off for a minute so I can add green turf to the stream. I'll put you back in a minute. So.
By the way, shout out to Baggy TV. You produce some good material.
stream. I'll put you back.
Cheers, Bobby. Appreciate it, mate.
Hey guys.
By the way, shout out to
Zan.
You produce some good material.
I'll put you back.
Cheers, Bobby. Appreciate it, mate.
Hey guys.
By the way, shout out to
Zan.
You produce some good material.
Cheers, Bobby. Appreciate it, mate.
Hey guys.
By the way, shout out to
Oh, this. Are we getting feedback now?
I'm getting feedback. It's like.
Oh, this.
Let me go off and start again.
Okay. I think that Screen Turf stream there is a bit funny.
The best thing about that was the shout out message was kept on getting repeated, so I appreciate that.
That's great. Yeah. Anyone who isn't following back, I'm sure most of you on here but anyone who isn't following back at the moment, just give him a follow as well. He's got some good content on his channel. Speaks a lot of sense as well. So yeah.
The first video I watched of Baggy TV was the one. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to think it's the wrong person, but I think he's the one that made a video on the 2020-21 jersey. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He
correct.
did one. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And I see.
So, that was the first video, and then from that video on, I started watching more.
Yeah, I remember you came onto one of my Q&As, Baggy. I think that's the first time I saw you, and it's good.
Yeah,
and I see one of your videos went viral the other day, the Peter Cech one.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I think it's close to 170,000 views right now, so that's brilliant.
Wow. Yeah. Is you getting monetized on that one?
Yeah, man. I made a couple hundred. Made a couple hundred on that. Yeah.
Oh wow! Well done. Good. Yeah. So Alfred, I understand your frustrations, but mate, as we said to you, things require time. It's not going to happen overnight, and so yeah.
Of course you need time, but you can feel someone. I just don't feel him. I think he needs to be sacked right now.
I'll give him a bit.
There's only going to be a PR. He's going to spend a lot of money on his PR, and he's going to stay in the club. He's going to hide his money, and he's not going to pay tax, and he's going to spend on PR. He's going to do same what Rashford does, and I'm not in for it.
That's your opinion. Everyone's got their opinion, I suppose. But yeah, I'm a person who, I understand his deficiencies, like Baggy, because I've seen some of Baggy's ones. I'm critical of him when he needs to be critical. He's not the finished article, and we already know that. But I'm not going to make any rational decisions on him at the moment, just because of some.
A Daily Mail and Sun on your payroll, then you're not the right person for the club. You're not the right person for the club. You are weak. You are using PR. I'm done with it.
Can I say something?
Go on.
He wouldn't be having article on Daily Mail after he loses the game.
I don't know anything about that because I don't read any newspapers nowadays, so I don't know what. I don't read the Sun or the Daily Mail, so I don't know what the agenda is. Yeah, Nav, let Nav talk.
I've been very patient with Lampard, but I had enough, to be honest. Enough. I can't have him. I don't see him. I don't see any learning curve. I don't see he's going to learn anything. He's just going to be using excessive PR campaigns, and he's going to stay in the club. He's going to be using that regional bias that he's having play Odoi and Mount, and he's going to use you. He's going to use me, and he's going to stay in the club. And he's not going to win any EPL or Champions League.
He's not going to use anyone because everyone on here, I'm sure, are smart enough and have their own opinions. Because I've got my own opinions. I'm not saying okay, because he's a former legend, he has to stay forever, whatever. I'm not like that. If you watch any of my videos, I'm not sure if you're subscribed to my channel, but I'm quite measured in my approach with Frank. And I've said, like everyone else, he's just a normal manager to me. He's somebody who, if he doesn't meet his targets for this season, then questions need to be asked. Yeah, but I'm not going to be on the back of 3 or 4 results screaming for his head yet. I think it's still early days. This season is a season which is different from most because everyone's getting strange results. Liverpool drew with West Brom the other day. They got beat 7-2 by West Bromwich. By Aston Villa. Does that mean that Klopp needs to go or something like that? So there's strange results all around this season. So it's not a normal season.
So the problem with some of the
Nev, talk, Nev.
Yep. So the problem with some of the Chelsea fans are like they are pretty obsessed with the previous system of sacking the managers and then winning the title. So for example, they saw Conte. They saw like Jose finished 10th in the previous season, and then when Conte came and he won the Premier League title. So similarly, if a manager does not perform or have a series of bad results, just sack him, bring in another manager, and he'll win the title. So the problem there is like Conte already had a world class squad, with him. So like he had Costa, he had Fabregas, he had Eden Hazard, he had defenders such as John Terry, keepers as Petr and Courtois. So like our squad was pretty good, and this kind of system like sacking managers and bringing in a new one was working at that time. But what now we have to realize is that we don't have that world class squad, and it's going to take time to get to that point where we can get in a world class manager and challenge for Premier League titles and Champions League titles back to back. So Lampard at the moment he's not perfect. He's he'll make some errors. He'll learn during his time at Chelsea, but let's give him some time to build that foundation so that when he leaves it over to the next manager, they can come over and succeed. So remember, like under Conte, we were getting linked to players such as Ashley Barnes, and now when Lampard comes, we are getting linked to who brought in Werner. It was Lampard. Who brought in Havertz? It was Lampard. Now who are we getting linked to? We are getting linked to Haaland, David Alaba. So we are getting linked to world class players, and you can't deny that Lampard brings that attractivity to Chelsea Football Club. So I'm not saying he's a world class manager or he'll win us those titles, but let him lay the foundation for those.
Great point.
I want to add something to what Nav just said. Do you guys remember the performances and the achievements of Arsene Wenger and what he did with Arsenal? And he had a couple of bad seasons towards the end of his career, and everyone was asking for him to get sacked, and he got sacked. Since then, what has Arsenal become? Okay, exactly. And in my opinion, if they had given him, a couple of seasons to revitalize the club, to sell some players, buy some players, Arsenal would be in a better position today than they are, from getting rid of Wenger. So selling, sacking your manager is not always the right thing to do. I mean, sometimes being patient and taking it on the chin. A few bad results, even a bad season, as long as you're there or thereabouts, it might be just the building blocks that you need to build that foundation to succeed.
Yeah, and a great point, because remember when Jose Mourinho first came to Chelsea, Alex Ferguson had 2 seasons without winning anything, so he had to rebuild. He changed his coaching style and methods and everything else. Okay, he's earned his time at Manchester United, so they would never have sold him. But it took him 2 years to rebuild that side, and they went on to win back-to-backs after that. And that was 2 years of rebuilding.
Yeah. Not to be disrespectful. First of all, Lampard is not Sav or Arsene Wenger, and you need to see something on the pitch. I don't see nothing on the pitch with Lampard. And if you're talking about giving a time, giving 3 years, he's not the right man. There's a right man out there, Nagelsmann. You can give him.
Okay. So, if you think like Nagelsmann is the way forward, so like, has he won any title in the Bundesliga? Or let's say, for example, he came up against Ole in the Champions League, and in one of the matches, Ole defeated him 5-0. So, not saying like he's not a bad manager, but with him, like he'll also need some time to settle in the Premier League.
Yeah,
if you are talking,
there is time for him now. There is a time for him, right? Because he would tell you, you can give me time by showing us good football. When we switch on our subscription for Chelsea TV, we're going to be watching some good football. That's not possible with Lampard. If Lampard has something on the pitch and I'm feeling excited about, then I can give him a chance.
Did you see last season, the first few games last season? Do you think there was good football last season? Last season, when we played Manchester City, although they beat us 2-1, that's the first time a team has outplayed Manchester City at their ground. That's the first time a Pep team have had more possession than a Pep team. It wasn't a possession for possession's sake. I thought we were outstanding in that game until that mistake that Jorginho cost us in that game. But even in defeat, we were excellent against Liverpool twice last season in the Super Cup and the game at Stamford Bridge where we lost. No, not the game at Stamford Bridge. I think we were better in the second half. First half we were pretty passive. But in the Super Cup against Liverpool, I thought that we were the better team in that game as well.
Max, all that you just mentioned was done on the back of academy players. All right, we got top 4 on the back of academy players. So if Frank Lampard is such a bad manager, how did he manage to do that? When clubs that had better managers, better so-called managers, didn't achieve it.
Listen, academy players, you need to integrate them, right? I have no problems with academy players playing in defense and midfield. English players make great defenders and midfielders. I have issues when you have 250 million of bundle of talent, or world class, world beaters. Every club wants Werner right now, and then you are comparing them with Mount, Odoi, Tammy Abraham. This is something which would affect that 250 million.
Alfred, I don't know where you're from, mate, but I take offense to what you just said there, mate. Some of the best strikers in the Premier League have been English strikers. I mean, I can name a few, but I don't need to. Everyone here knows what I'm talking about.
Well-traveled strikers. Not the ones who sit in the academy and then they use their regional bias to get into the club. And then they use
Alan Shearer. No. Alan Shearer, Michael Owen, Fowler. I mean, that's back in the day. Harry Kane today. I mean, you're not making sense of it.
No, you're talking Robbie Fowler. He had a lot of...
Not to mention Calvin Lewin. The Villa striker we just played against. I think you're being a bit unfair, Alfred.
For their clubs, they are good for clubs, but we are talking about winning EPL and Champions
League. Andy Cole won the Champions League with Manchester United. He was English, wasn't he? And Teddy Sheringham.
Alfred, you gotta give this project time. I think you're going by.
This will lead to nowhere. This project is just. This is actually going to lead us to where United and Arsenal is. Rashford, 6 years in the club, no trophy. Saka, I don't know how long he will be in the club, no trophy.
Rashford has won a couple of trophies, actually.
If you've got money, You've got money. We don't need to have this project.
And Rashford, by the way, he's a good player. Just that they don't have enough, quality players in their defense. If Manu also sort out their windows,
But we don't want to go in their direction.
they can also be a good side.
Jamie Vardy won with Leicester.
Jamie Vardy is a class act. I would have
Max. Where did Jamie Vardy come from in regards to his professional career?
I know.
It was non-league.
Yeah. Wasn't he like signing on until he was like 20, 28, 27 or something?
Yeah. He started his career very late.
I'm not really sure what Alfred wants. I'm struggling to see what direction you really want the club to go by.
Academy players, academy strikers, staying in the same club where they are raised, they cannot make good. They cannot win you EPL and Champions League.
Well, you've said that, but that's debatable, isn't it? That's just your opinion.
It's not debatable. It's been.
Didn't Mason Mount play in Holland for a season? And didn't Tammy Abraham play for Aston Villa for a season? They traveled.
Swansea.
Bristol City, Aston Villa, and Swansea.
I think you're giving your opinion, Alfred, which fair enough. This is what we do as fans, but you can't make it that your opinion is law, as it were, because it's just not true. And this project, it needs to be given time for it to produce the target that it's been set. You're shooting the project down at the beginning of the project. That makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, I know, I can understand, we all want success.
Yeah,
sometimes
and Mbappe as well.
It doesn't happen overnight. When to the club, Chelsea, he made Chelsea the only team in England with that sort of super money. Now everybody's got money. So you really have to build a team for yourself. And this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And if you look, Tammy's not our leading striker anyway, because he rotates with Giroud and others. So if we want to go close, look closer, Iniesta at Manchester City, he played some games. He played a fair few games where Manchester City won the league. So he's an English striker who's won EPL recently.
From our academy, I don't mind them. We can have our defenders from our academy.
No, but I'm talking about Iniesta now, who's a striker at Manchester City, and he played a few games for them in their title-winning season.
Phil Foden, yeah?
Yeah, Foden. Foden played a few games. Foden should have played more games last season.
When he won the EPL, he was he's a substitute player. You can have Tammy as a sub player.
Yeah, but Tammy Abraham isn't our main striker, though, is he? He's played a few games this season, but he's rotating. Today we had Giroud in their side, so he's not. There's no hierarchy. There's no. You're going on like there's a hierarchy, and he plays him all the time. He doesn't play Tammy Abraham all the time. Last season, last season he played him a lot because of circumstances. He didn't have, obviously, I think he could have played Giroud a bit more. But then who finished the season? Giroud, because Giroud came in, he showed form, and he finished the season for us.
Listen, there has to be a decision made by Lampard.
Alfred, this is just your opinion, really. I think it doesn't have substance.
Alfred, can I ask you some questions? Like, who Chelsea lost to Everton? Which player started as striker against Everton? It was Giroud. Chelsea lost against Wolves. Which player started as striker? It was again Giroud. And then today as well, like Tammy did not feature at all. We still lost points. Then again, if we see the draws against Southampton, we see the draws against West Brom, Tammy did not feature in those games at all. Not
1 minute,
saying
guys. Carry on this conversation. I'll be back in 1 minute. Let's carry on the conversation without me.
Not saying like Tammy is a world-class striker, but I'm saying like Tammy is not the sole problem at the club. He is a second-choice striker, and Lampard is not playing him like week in, week out.
Tammy is not a world-class striker. I don't know why.
Yep.
He didn't. He's not saying that. He's not saying that. I just think, I don't know. I think as English people, we're very, very critical of ourselves and our footballers, perhaps even too much so. I think it's very unfair what you're saying, that somebody from the academy cannot develop in the team with which, in his mother club and win, and as a striker anywhere on the pitch, and win the EPL and the Champions League. If you believe it hasn't happened before, well, I'll say there's a first time for everything. You can't shoot down this project. Lampard effectively has done nothing wrong. Yes, he had a stinker against Arsenal.
There cannot be a black swimmer winning a gold medal, or there could not be a white 100-meter can finish for the goal. Same would currently, sadly, same here.
Why can't that happen? Why?
It's just natural.
Alfred, where you from, mate? Where you from?
Because I'm
Alfred. Yeah, go on. Okay, Alfred, mate, listen. Okay, what you're saying here is stereotypes and it's borderline racism. Okay, these issues. If you want to talk about individual players, individual skills, tactics, whatnot, fair play. But for you to be talking about, a black man can't do this or a white man can't do this, that doesn't make any sense, mate.
He just asked me a point, and I just told him. I just told him properly. I wasn't being borderline, stereotype. I wasn't being like that.
I'm being polite, saying you were borderline, mate.
No.
What was it? What did I miss? Who was he talking about? Who was he talking about?
I'll let him explain it. I'll let him explain it. Go on, Alfred. Tell him.
Listen, the guy asked me if I have a stereotype because he said to me that I believe that there's the strikers, academy striker can't be EPL winners, okay, for their clubs. And I just explained him that that's just natural. That can't be happened in England. That's not possible in England.
Why?
And then I explained him that, for example, if there is a swimmer, a black guy can't win gold medal, and a white guy cannot compete in 100-meter race.
Why is that? A black guy has won, a Jamaican guy has won a gold medal in the racing, and a guy called Alan Wells, a Scottish guy, in 1980, he won the 100 meters. So that's a load of
nonsense. Yeah. He won the gold medal in Moscow.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was just giving an example.
Yeah, but that's not a great example, though, because that's stereotyping.
I think a lot of your opinions. A lot of your opinions
Bobby,
are just
Bobby,
that,
give me a second, Bobby. Bobby, give me a second, mate. Alfred, mate, look, I've been trying to figure you out for the past, half an hour, trying to figure out what your angle is. And, I figured it out, mate. I figured it out. Okay, you want to see Timo Werner being given more of an opportunity in the centre and Kai Havertz being given more of an opportunity than Mason Mount. You're not happy that Mason Mount has been picked and Havertz has been dropped, and you're not happy that Timo Werner hasn't been starting in the centre. That is your position. They will leave the club. And you know what, mate? You know what? If them playing is gonna move Chelsea backwards, I don't care how much we spent on them, then we can drop them. We're dropping a goalkeeper that we paid 72 million for because he didn't perform. So I don't care about the players. I care about the team. We here support Chelsea Football Club. We here don't support XY player. I don't care how much they cost. I don't care who they are. If they don't perform, then they can go. And even the manager, even Frank Lampard, who is a legend, who is, for us, one of the best players to wear our shirt, if he is not performing as a manager, everyone in this chat will be happy to see him go and say to him, "Thank you for your service, mate, but someone else can do this job." Well, right? But we need to give him the chance. We're Chelsea fans. Listen, Alfred, we're Chelsea fans. We don't care about players. We care about the club. Just want to put that out there.
Exactly. I care about the club. I just want to win.
Yeah, Alfred, can I just say something as well? Because at the beginning of the season, Frank Lampard, who was in his preferred lineup, Havertz played until until he had COVID, he played in every single game. Timo Werner, okay, some may say out of position, but he's played in every single game. So if anything, it's been Tammy was missed. Tammy didn't start the season. Yeah, he came in a bit later. Tammy wasn't the number one starter for Chelsea. Timo Werner against Southampton and against other teams, Timo Werner started down the middle. Yeah, the only person who's been consistent in playing out of all the academy players that you've been referring to has been Mason Mount. Okay, and obviously Reece James, because Reece James
Okay, then
is
give a chance to Mount. Okay, listen, then give chance to Mount. Put him in starting 11, okay? But please don't put Tammy and Odoi then in. You're
why not
putting
Odoi?
two youngsters at the same time.
But Odoi hasn't been playing a lot. Odoi,
That's,
a lot of Chelsea fans are saying that Odoi has played too little, if anything. You know,
he
and
has
Odoi
played.
came on today and he showed what he can do. He's been underused, if anything. But and also the other
You
thing I'm going to
know,
make is
into you know they're trying to have a competition with well-known world. We have paid 50-70 million for these players. I mean,
it doesn't
okay,
matter. It doesn't.
I accept Mount has been something different. I'm not gonna lie here. When I see Mount, I see something, glimpse of hopes. You know, I see he is special. But then you're putting Tammy and Odoi in.
Yeah, Odoi has done. What's Odoi? Odoi hasn't been in a lot this season. He hasn't played a lot. Yeah, today was how many games he started in the league? Was this his second game? We've played 15, 16 games this season. This is his second start in the league. So I don't know what. I don't get your point about Odoi is being favoured. Today he was favoured.
But when Odoi and Tammy gets it, they don't use their chances.
He took his chance today, Odoi. And we can't play. The reason why we are where we are now is because I don't think Frank's rotated enough this season, and so a lot of the players have been looking a bit jaded. So by taking Thing out the firing line, taking Havertz out the firing line, today he came back, as I said before, looking a lot better. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted Tyrone's been wanting to speak for a while. Let Tyrone have your say.
Okay, so I've been listening to everything for I think it's been a bit over 30 minutes, and one thing that's just hit me a while ago, the manner in which Alfred is speaking, it seems a bit if he sounds a bit racist in terms of the English teams, well not English teams, English players.
Yes.
However, he's the players that he hasn't mentioned Mason Mount as much. He's complaining about Tammy Abraham and Callum Hudson-Odoi coming in, and you said it. The thing is, CHO has come in. He came on against Arsenal. He changed the way we were playing, and I said it previously in this phone in, and I can understand where you can say where players are not being used as much and everything, but if you're gonna say that a player can improve at the club that they started at, then that's just repulsive, and that's being very erratic. Now, the issue is, I can get where it wants more players to come into the team, and if you're saying that Callum Hudson-Odoi and Tammy shouldn't come into the team at the same time, then I don't understand. But there's nothing wrong with them coming into the team. If you're talking about them being overused, then fine. CHO, you can't say that. Burton, you said about Tammy not starting the season. The first match, Brighton, Werner played. The other game, Werner again. Then he had Giroud, and then he saw Tammy come in on substitution. Then he got his place. So it's not a situation where he's being overused or anything. Last season, he had to be used as much. But as you also said, Giroud ended the season because of his attributes, because of his heading skills and everything. So if you're going to say where you're not supposed to come into the team because of this and because of that, you sound a bit racist because you're not mentioning the players. And every time that anybody else, right now we're speaking about other players who have done incredible things for the club that they're from the academy from. You're just omitting it and you're just blowing that off because they're not agreeing with what you're saying. They mentioned Messi.
Tyrant, you have to. Are we a selling club or are we a buying club? We buy players. We don't want to create players. We are not West Ham.
Why
We
don't we
are
want to create players?
Whoa. No, but we
competing
had
with
no, we had John Terry, but we also bought defenders as well. It isn't you can move both of them. You can buy players and you can sell players as well.
Liverpool, who are the current league winners? Liverpool.
Exactly, Liverpool.
Right?
You have Trent.
And you got Trent. Yeah.
You have what's his name? I forgot. You have Curtis Jones. You have Williams. You have so many players who are coming in and they're transitioning into the team. But there's the situation is, and I think some fans still don't understand the reason behind Frank Lampard buying players.
Defenders, listen, defenders and midfielders, English defenders and midfielders are really down to earth, modest, okay? But the strikers, they believe in luxury, they believe in cars, they believe in PR. That's a fact.
Look, you've got, I don't, you can't think, I don't know. Well, you can think any way you like. I mean, it's your opinion. But at Chelsea, we're trailblazers. We don't do what everybody else does because that's how they got their success. We make our own success. And we have decided to choose this way to achieve a longevity of success using a mixture of our academy players that have been excellent for many, many years and bringing in some young talent from, externally. And this is the Chelsea project. We're not Man United. We're not Liverpool. We're not anyone else. We are Chelsea Football Club. Sorry?
Bobby, there's 80% fan base on Twitter, on social network websites that wants Lampard out. That doesn't agree with you.
Well, I don't know about that 80%. I don't know where you got that from.
It depends who you're following. 80% of the people that you follow, maybe, because what I've seen, I haven't seen 80% of people.
Who are full of animosity. They have hostile people because, as Bobby has been saying, we've been used to sacking managers, when they're not performing like they did before. Antonio Conte, he won the league, and then he was sacked. Then, because of what he finished 5th. So the thing is, we've been used to this happening over and over again. That when something's not happening, we want it to, and the way we're used to it, the first instinct that comes to our mind is to sack. And I can understand where people can.
I just got some news coming in. This guy Indic.
It's a football club. It's a sports industry. Sacking is normal.
Hold on, just 1 minute here, because I just got some news coming in. I'm looking in my Twitter feed here. This guy Indicalia. Sometimes he breaks some news, and sometimes he's a load of nonsense. But according to him, what he's saying, don't shoot the messenger. Frank Lampard has 2 games to save his job. Certain CFC officials not sure on Thomas Tuchel. Brendan Rodgers' name has popped up as well. Nagelsmann is first choice according to high-level officials at CFC. Take that as you want.
I agree with it. Nagelsmann or Tuchel is the choice because we have got Havertz and Werner, and you would like to make that German combination. I mean, that would be really deadly if we have one of them at this moment.
And what if the new manager falls out with the defenders like Reece James or Chilwell or something like that happens? What if we are in the same situation after 18 to 24 months?
Oh, these managers know how to handle everything.
But Tuchel, he fell out with the PSG board.
No one's instant success.
We don't have a goalkeeper.
If I could jump in for a second.
Yeah.
I was checking Twitter prior to the game and after the game, and I saw a few big journalists talking about Tuchel, and they were also talking about that Frank Lampard has a few games to save his job. So this is something that has been addressed by a lot of big journalists. In regards to the fan base on Twitter, that is not the fan base. That is Twitter. Okay. Exactly. Chelsea fan base is worldwide, and not everyone is on Twitter. Okay.
And people on Twitter got their agendas.
But if Lampard have to save his legacy, then he have to step down and be an assistant, like Duncan Ferguson did for Everton, right? If he has to save his legacy, he can be like, okay, let the big man come. He can stay at the club. He can stay. He can learn. He can learn 3-4 years. I mean, you're talking about legacy, having a learning curve. He can stay in the club. He can be he can't be a head coach at this moment. I've seen him. I've seen him for 2 years, and I know what he can do and what he can't do. Let a manager come in, and he like Carroll for United, like Duncan Ferguson for Everton, like John Terry for Aston Villa. Something like that.
Alfred, can I ask you a question? Why did you support Chelsea? Why are you supporting Chelsea? What got you to support Chelsea?
I love their attacking football, and I want them win EPL and Champions League.
Under attacking football, under who? Under what manager?
Just one-sided.
Under what manager was he attacking football?
I love when Hasselbank and Gudjohnsen started playing.
So
under Ranieri, yeah?
Ranieri is my favorite. Like, I really rate him high.
Okay, who do you support in Germany? Who do you support in Germany?
In Germany?
Yeah.
I support in Austria, to be honest.
Okay.
Rapid Vienna.
Okay. Sorry, Max, I interrupted you there, mate.
No, I just want to see you. Okay, so under Ranieri, Mourinho gave us a couple of good years, but then he went all defense mode. But we were winning games. Ancelotti played some good attacking football, agreed. But a lot of we chopped and changed a lot of times, so it's not always been attacking football at Chelsea.
I was actually heartbroken when he got sacked, Ranieri. I thought if Ranieri stayed, he would have also won EPL and Champions League.
I don't think he had that winning mentality. He's a good builder. He can build a club, but I don't think he had that extra bit. That's why they brought in Mourinho, to just turn us from also-rans to winners.
Leicester fans would disagree, mate.
Yeah, he did well at Leicester for one season. Yeah, he did do well for Leicester. But I don't know. There's something about that getting over that final hurdle. I'll never forgive him for playing Hasselbank at left back in that against Monaco in the Champions League semi-final. That was a bizarre decision.
And what's his name? The defender. What's his name? God, the German kid we had then. He played him as centre forward.
Robert Huth.
Yeah.
Lanky fella.
They used to call him. What was that they called him? Because he would always chop and change.
Tinkerman.
The Tinkerman.
Yeah.
That's a nickname.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, just a couple more minutes left. We're going for over 2 hours. It's been a good discussion, though. It's been a really good discussion. And
it has been.
Everyone has their opinions. We all have our opinions. So, but as I said, it's a project. We need to stay patient. We need to keep patient. Frank Lampard is his biggest critic, so he'll know where he needs to improve in the team. Some points that I didn't agree with everything that what's his name? He's gone. I can't remember his name now, and he just left.
Alfred.
Alfred. Yeah, I didn't agree with a lot of some things he said. I did agree with, but 95% of the things he said I didn't really agree with.
Yeah.
And that, as I said, with Baggy, I know with you, with Bobby, with Nav, with all of us on there. So again, Bobby.
Yep, it's a matter of communication.
Yeah. And we're not silly because we wouldn't. I know I've seen some Chelsea fans who say, "Oh no, no matter what the results are, because he's a Chelsea legend, we can't sack him." I don't agree with that. And he doesn't agree with that because he even said when he took the job, he doesn't want favouritism because of what he's done in the past. He wants to be judged on results, and he knows more than anything else. If results are not going his way, then he's going to be expect to get the sack like any other manager. So it's up to him at the end of the day. I will be critical of him. He doesn't get a pass from me because of what he has done before, and I have been critical of him of some of the mistakes that he has made. At the same token, I'm not going to be just being reactionary over every single result that we have. It's a long-term season, and we'll see how we get on over the season. If we are going down the Arsenal route of 7-8 games and not winning, and confidence is going, then maybe you need to start to have that conversation. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see what's happening in the next 3 or 4 games. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Agree.
Anyway, guys, it's nice having you on. I just said I didn't expect to be on this long, but obviously I can hear that, Tyrone. He's gone off mute. Yeah, so it's nice having you guys on. It's great debate, great conversation, and so
I just want to say one last thing. It was a pleasure being on here, talking to everyone, even Alfred. It was a nice debate, and I want to wish everyone a happy New Year and hopefully a successful end to the season.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Thank you, Peggy. Same to you.
Same to you, mate. We'll be watching you.
And here's to 10,000, Baggy. Let's bang on YouTube's doors now and find out why people are not getting notified when we make.
Fix the algorithm, please.
Yeah, because even some people came on there earlier saying that they didn't know it was on there to search for it and all this nonsense. It's not nice spending all your time making videos and then no one gets the notifications at the end of the day. But anyway, we're doing it for the love of it as well. Anyway, so it's not just
true.
We'll still keep banging out content, even if it's 10 people who get to see it. But yeah. So thanks, Baggy. On Green Turf, thanks for having you on as well, mate. Sorry you can. Every time Green Turf comes on, he seems to have mic issues on there. I'm not sure why. Yeah, Nav as always, Bobby as always, Tyrone as always. Lovely having you guys on. The last thing before I go, Frank Lampard has said he thinks that the Man City game may be played. He said if they can get 14 fit players out, then the game's going to be on. So that'd be interesting. Yeah. That's probably the only chance we've got to beat them if they got. Let's get the women's team out and play against them. Yeah.
This is
right, guys.
Player too.
What's that, Tyrone? You keep dipping in and out, mate. I didn't hear that.
I've seen there's this Norwich player. I think his name is Emi Buendia. I think that's.
Oh, Buendia. Yes. Yeah, he's a good player actually. Because I wanted either him or the one who's gone to West Ham, Ben Rama. I wanted one of those two as a backup winger for us in the summer.
Because he can play as a winger as well.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, guys, happy New Year, guys. So all the best. If you haven't done so already, follow Green Turf, follow Baggy TV. Great channels to watch as well. So give them a follow if you haven't done so. So take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. It's probably late for you now, Bag, isn't it? About 2 in the morning or something.
10 to 2.
Yeah. Okay, guys. And Nav, it's probably later for you, isn't it? Probably 4 o'clock over there.
Yep, 4:20.
Yeah. Love the commitment, guys. Yeah. So take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.